Good morning. It's December 23rd and we are just entering Roatan, Honduras, Central America. We've got a tour planned this morning, an early morning tour. So we're up early. It's not even 7 a.m. Honduras time. It's right around 7. It's beautiful here. Beautiful, beautiful day. I'm thinking it's a small island, but I'm not exactly sure. We haven't been able to see a map since we've got on board this ship. I'm sure we'll figure it out. We've got a early morning tour, city sights. I don't see any beaches here, so I'm not sure if we're going to a beach or not. I'm sure I'll be taking video wherever we go.
Good morning. Good morning. Have a great time. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, good morning. Good. What's up with this?
Morning, morning, everybody.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
We are going on a tour of Roatan, Honduras. Where the person is.
What person?
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Welcome to the island. A little bit of hand sanitizer, please. The torch is on to your right, okay?
All right.
Where is it? No worries. Yeah.
It's a warm one today.
It is. I guess this is the way.
It said celebrity reflection tours this way.
So I'm gonna be your tour guide, your body guide, your babysitter for today, okay?
Okay.
So welcome to this beautiful island. This is the first time on the island?
Yes.
Yep.
Welcome to this beautiful island. So I'll be giving you guys some information about this island. So we're now in Town Center Port. Town Center Port. Okay guys, this island is 36 miles long and 4 miles wide. 36 miles long and 4 miles wide. Approximately about 75,000 people live here on the island. Approximately 80,000 people live here on the island. On this island here, we grow a lot of live fruit. There's a lot of tree because we grow a lot of fruit here on the island. The main fruit we grow on the island, the mango, we grow the sugar cane, we grow the plantain. Okay, so here is the major, here is downtown, here this is Town Center Port here. On On the left hand side, you guys can see the cemetery here. This is international police you guys see here on the right hand side. Everybody very underground. Most of the people you guys see here, this is the local people. Do local tour around the island. Most of the local people. All here is the major area of downtown. These are the local shops. Their shops. When you guys finish your tour, you guys will come and shop and get the local tour walking here. So okay guys, on this island here we do a lot of different stuff here on the island. The first thing here on the island is the tourism. The second one here on the island is the fishing here on the island. On this island here we do catch a lot of fish. You catch the yellowtail, you catch the barracuda, snapper. We catch a lot of different kind of fish here on the island. On this island, we local lunch on the island is the beans and rice, fried fish, fried plantain, also we do chicken, and also we do eat iguana. And you guys are here about the iguana?
We haven't yet.
We eat the iguana here on the island, they're just like chicken. We cook the iguana here with a coconut milk here on the island. It's really good. So okay guys, we're going to be passing the biggest bridge here on the island. This is the biggest bridge on the island, the oldest one. We call it the Big Bridge. Big Bridge. So here is the main street of downtown. Everybody, most of the local people come and shopping and do the local shop around here. The main street of downtown. On this island, we drink a lot of Pepsi here on the island, and also Coca-Cola. This is the second-hand clothes to sell here on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side. Here, this is a public school here on the left-hand side. This is a public school. We're not all kids is on vacation right now. We're here on the right-hand side. This is a Catholic church. The main religion here in Ireland is Catholic. We do have a pharmacy on the right hand side, and also we do have an Elton supermarket, and also we do have Bojangle. There's a big fast food here in Ireland, Bojangle, and pizza here. We don't have no McDonald's here in Ireland, yes Bojangle. Fried chicken and fried fries. So you guys can see a private clinic. There is Miss Peggy. This is a private clinic. Also, we go to a public school on the left side. This is a bank here on the left side. It's really good. Here on the island, you drink a shot glass in the morning and in the night. On the right hand side, this is the black drinking water. This is the oldest one for the whole island. Black drinking water.
No speed limit here on the island.
That's what's
have 35 schools in all. Private and public. 35 schools. All school here use uniform here on the island. Right now, all kids is competition. We start school from February to November. February to November. So here was the shipwreck airport in 1991. There was another cruiser with this carnival. This port here belongs to the carnival. This is Mahogany Bay. So the time I'm telling you guys go, Harry Island here, Harry kids here go to school at 7 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock afternoon. Some go to 12 o'clock afternoon to 5 o'clock midday. Some going to 5 to 9 o'clock in the night. The biggest one started in the night. 7 to 12, 12 to 5, and 5 to 9. Harry Island. See, we like Hollywood. That's the ex-mayor house.
Ex-mayor lived.
That's the ex-mayor house there, the big white house there. They're holding for sale. They're holding for
It could be
sale.
you.
I'm right.
They're holding on the internet. Look the sign there for sale, but they don't hold the price.
On our way to the brewery. I guess.
No beer? She's a convincing beggar. So guys, if anyone would like to use the bathroom, the baño de Honduras, just follow the gravel path around. If you'd like some fresh drinking water, there's water outside. Guys, let's meet back here in 5 minutes to begin. 5 minutes back here to begin, all right? Good morning. Good morning, how are you doing? If you'd like to use the restroom, now's a good time. Around the back of the building. Fresh drinking water just outside. So we're going to meet here in 5 minutes to begin. Follow me. This is Sadie. She's in the kitchen cooking up some food for you. And we have Christina over here as well who's going to be taking care of you guys, all right? This is Macy down here. If you're allergic to dogs or you would prefer, just please raise your hand. Don't be shy. I can put her out of the way, okay? Some people don't like dogs. If you throw her a toy one time, you are obligated to throw it for at least 100 at one time. So you've been warned, okay? We're not going to feed her today either. I'm going to move her when the food comes out. So guys, today included in your tour is a sample of 4 different kinds of beverages that we have on tap. If, however, you are very thirsty or just indecisive, you can upgrade to an Ocho, and you can try 8 different for just $5 more. So if anybody knows that they're going to go up to an Ocho, you can just raise your hand right now. Christina's going to pass out some papers to you. No Ochos today? No takers? Okay. Wow, I had a couple of you pegged for an Ocho. You, sir, I thought were an Ocho. You might change your mind later. So she's going to pass out these papers now and a pen to everybody. What you're going to do is you're going to write your name and the table number, which you see on the stick in front of you, all right? And then I'm going to talk you down the list of different beverages that we offer today. You're going to write the numbers of the ones you would like to taste, all right? Then Christina will come around and she'll grab those papers from you when you're finished, and Carlos and I will get to pouring. You just remain seated. They'll bring the beverages out to you, all right? And then once everyone has drinks in front of them, the kitchen will come around and start dropping off some food. Macy, Scott, come here. Come over here. Come. So the kitchen's going to bring out some food for you today. And today what we have for you is a little bratwurst platter. It's 3 different kinds of German sausages, some pretzel bites, a little spicy mustard, and some sauerkraut. Just something you can munch on while you're drinking. After that, in about an hour, I'm going to start a little walking tour of the brewery. Anyone that's interested can join. We'll talk about how we make beer. So all the information I'm about to give you guys will be on a menu that Carlos is going to pass out to you right now. Some menus on the table. So if you can't see the chalkboard, the menu will have the same information on it. All right? So let's talk about beer. Come here, Mace. Let's talk about beer, Mace. Come back here. So as we talk about beer today, guys, please pay attention to the numbers in the right-hand column. There's 2 different numbers, right? One says ABV and one says IBU. ABV, guys, what does it stand for?
Alcohol by volume.
Alcohol by volume, we all know that one, right? IBU stands for International Bitterness Units. This is a scale from 0 to 120. So, if you're telling yourself, I really don't like strong beer. In fact, I don't think I like beer at all. What am I doing on a brewery tour? Well, you're going to look for a number that is low ABVs and low IBUs, all right? So, for example, beer number 1 would fall into that category, all right? This is the lightest ale that we make. It's called Paradise Light. It's also the base beer that we use for a lot of our fruited beers that we do seasonal fruiting. So, low ABV, right? 4.3. IBUs are extremely low at 16. So, a very easy drinking beer. Number 2, Citrus IPA. No, not so much. This is the biggest, boldest beer that we make. This is a West Coast style IPA. So, it's got a really bold, hoppy flavor to it. It's coming in at over 7%. So, technically, it's a double IPA. Macy, hush your mouth. Number 3, Latin Lager. This is the lightest beer we make, and it's actually the most popular beer on the board today. It's a Mexican-style lager, really light, really crisp, served with a little lime wedge. Think Modelo Especial, maybe even Corona, although we don't like to say that word these days. Number 4, Hefeweizen, German unfiltered wheat beer. But we've taken it with a Caribbean twist here. We've infused fresh pineapple. So we pressed the pineapples and we put the fresh pineapple into secondary fermentation. Number 5, brown ale. It's a really American brown. So it's really roasty. It's got some nutty flavor to it. I would describe it to beer nerds as very malt forward. Number 6, seltzers. You guys know about the seltzers these days?
Yeah.
Bud Light, White Claw, all these Trulies, all these guys. Here's the difference. We're actually using real fruit in ours. They are not. Don't tell them I told you that. But, so today we have a Mora berry, which is blackberry, and fresh lemons. So Mora lemons, basically a fermented club soda that we back sweeten with fresh, all-natural fruit ingredients. Number 7, apple cider. Technically not a beer, but alcoholic in nature nonetheless. So our cider comes to, the cider base comes to us from the Pacific Northwest. So it's Washington State apples. We then mix it and ferment it here on site. So it is alcoholic 6.1 right now. Number 8, Irish Stout. So my last name is Flanagan. We better have an Irish beer on there, or my dad will be very angry with me. So a lot of people, when they think stout, they think Guinness right away. All right, you can get that out of your mind, right? This is not so thick and creamy because it's not pushed with nitrogen. So it's going to be a little bit smoother in the body. Lots of coffee flavors, a little bit of a chocolate overtone to it. Number 9, Hibiscus Red. This is a very interesting beer. It's actually a light ale. But what we've done is we've taken the Florida Jamaica, which is the hibiscus flower. We create a tea with that. We add that tea into secondary fermentation. So it gives it a really nice red ruby color. So it's just another Caribbean twist, right? Number 10, crisp ESB. Does anybody know what ESB stands for when we're talking about beer? Anybody? There's a sticker in it for you if you know. Okay, I'll keep the sticker. ESB stands for extra special bitter. This is a very English style beer. So we use English malts, English hops, and English yeast in this. Very English earthy flavor. Number 11, soursop. Is anyone familiar with the soursop tree? So it's a fruit-bearing tree, right? Here on the island. It's like a green, prickly-looking fruit. We don't mess with the fruit. We're using the leaf, right? The leaf has been used here for generations as sort of a bush medicine. It's good for diabetes, high blood pressure. Some say it can maybe cure cancer. But what we've done is we've created all-natural soda. Cinnamon, mint, honey, hibiscus, all-natural carbonated soda, no alcohol. Number 12, also non-alcoholic. Have you guys ever had the kombucha? Do we know about the booch? So this is some kombucha that's brewing right now. It's a fermented probiotic tea, so there's green and black tea, slightly fermented. Sometimes the flavor can be a little tart, so we've sweetened it up with Moraberry, again, the blackberry. All right? Guys, write your numbers that you would like.
By the way, it's 9:30. Ship time, 10:30 Eastern
We'll
time.
bring them up to the bar and we'll get started pouring them for you guys. Hey, come on, get it.
Yeah. The difference.
Okay, oh yeah, I forgot, that was one thing I forgot, housekeeping. So you're gonna see us wearing masks. You are not obligated to do so. We are all fully vaccinated, my staff here. And but by the contract rules with the cruise ship line, we have to wear masks, and also by local law, we also have to wear masks here. You're not obligated. If you're comfortable without it, I'm fine with it as well. It's no big deal. I've had COVID and been vaccinated, so we're all good here. Yeah. Okay. So once again, my name is Mark, and I'm one of the owners here at the brewery. I'm gonna give you a little history of the brewery first to get things started, and then we'll actually do a little walkthrough here and talk about how we make beer. So the brewery started, we made beer first in October of 2018. The project started before that, back in around late 2017, when my partner acquired the land where we are right now. So from the mango trees out there in the parking lot, those are all big mango trees, and back to the banana trees in the back there, we've got about 6 acres altogether on the flat. There's another 4 acres that goes up the mountain here that we're going to save to build some houses up there eventually. A couple of us are going to have a little community up there. So the number one question that people generally ask is, what are we doing out here in the middle of the jungle? Why here? Why are you not near where all the people are? And one reason is because we just really don't like people. Actually, the reason we are here is because of one of the 4 ingredients that you need to make beer. So what are the 4 ingredients that we need to make beer? Hops.
Water.
Water. Lupullo, hops, lupullo. Yeast, and Barley.
Barley.
Water, barley, hops, yeast. All right? Water, barley, hops, yeast. We are here for the water. Okay? We're not connected to the city in any way. Water in, water out. So all of our water that we're consuming here comes from right behind that wall. There's a well that goes down about 80 feet.
That's your flavor.
There's our water. If we go any deeper than 80, we start to get salty, brackish water. Because if you remember, about 800 meters that way is the ocean. All right, so water is very important to us. And one general rule that they say in this industry is that for every glass of beer that we finally get to drink, it takes another 4 glasses of water to produce it. Okay, the majority of that is from cleaning, sanitizing, right? So everything you see here is cleaned on a daily basis. Washed down, rinsed down, especially in the environment where we live, right? Every keg that comes back that's been emptied out has to be washed and sanitized, right? All these fermenters have to be sanitized after every use. A lot of water consumption going there, right? As far as water treatment, so the water out, everything that happens over here is on one system, everything over there is on another. By which I mean there's a septic system over here for the bathroom and the bar and the kitchen. And over here, we have a much larger system to deal with the big flow of water that we're putting. So, biodigester, multi-chamber settlement, leach fields, all that, right? So that's water. The next ingredient we're going to talk about is malted barley. Yeah, malted barley. You might hear me sometimes use the word grain as like a blanket term, but the proper term would be malted barley. But in some instances, in some of our beers, for example, we do use oats, rolled oats. Some of them, like in our Latin lager, we use corn, flaked corn. So we're going to step over here into my office here in just a minute, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the other ingredients and the process. When we're in my office, guys, please, 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 do not lean on anything. Do not, hey, what this does? Let's try that one out. That was cool. Don't do that. If I don't touch it, you don't touch it. There is some hot stuff over here. I did run a burner earlier today, so I'll point that out as well. Over there's hot stuff. But let's step in at your own peril. Into my office. Come on down. Let's talk about beer. Guys, if you get tired, thirsty, bored, hungry, whatever during the tour, feel free to walk away. I will not be insulted. It's all good. Okay, you guys want to come around? Hello, Grain. Okay, so you guys can step forward a little bit so everybody can come in. I won't bite unless you ask me to. All right, so this is the room where we store all of our barley, basically all of our grains, till we're ready to use it. We just got a delivery yesterday, so we are full right now. You can see we're filled all the way up to the rafters here. We got about almost 4,000 pounds delivered yesterday. 2 things you're gonna notice about this room. Number 1 is that it's temperature controlled, 75 degrees, all right? Number 2 is it's humidity controlled, all right? So out there, you're probably at about 95% relative humidity. In here, I wanna be around 50, 55. So dehumidifier, always running. I'm gonna close the door because electricity is extremely expensive here on the island.
Where do you get the wheat from?
So, our product comes to us ultimately from the United States, from a warehouse in Atlanta, but the grains come from all over the world. So the Hefeweizen is using a German wheat, the English beers are using English malts, but the majority of our product comes from the United States, actually manufactured in the United States. So, for example, the 2-row barley that you see here. So barley grows on a stalk, and it can have 2 rows of seeds, or 4 rows, or up to 6 rows. The most common is 2-row barley. So that's what's going to be your base grain for the majority of the beer that you're making, right? So for all your ales, maybe 60% is just going to be 2-row barley, all right? Now, one thing that I want to mention about there, this is one of our biggest challenges that we face, is on the supply side. So it comes to us from the US, but it has to go from Atlanta to Miami on a truck. There it gets on a boat. The boat sails for 5 days. Then it gets here, and then the customs guy has it. And then we got to do the thing with the thing to get our stuff, you know what I mean? So it's a very difficult process. All in all, it's about a 5-week turnaround. From the time we order it until actually we get it, looking about 4.5 to 5 weeks.
Is it controlled the whole time? Is the temperature?
No, it's not, and that's the problem. So this is one of our things. We always try to time it exactly to know, okay, we want this to land in Miami the day before it sails. So we got to back out from that date, right? Because we know that it's at least in a container, but it's not a temperature controlled or humidity controlled environment at that point. So we just have, the only thing we can do is minimize, right? Minimize and try to really plan it out. So we have a guy that helps us with that on the logistics end there.
So how long will that supply in there last?
This supply, I'm gonna make another order probably tomorrow. Because we're coming into season right now and I'm about to do a big round of brewing. I'm probably gonna brew like the next 6 days in a row to try to get moving on things. So let's talk about that, how much grain we use, right? Let's step over here and let's talk about that. So, when we get the grain out of there, it's in a form like this, right? It's still in a hard shell. But in this form, it's not really good to me. What I need what's inside of there. And that is looking like this. The way we access the inside of that shell is from that machine right behind you there, the yellow malt mill. So we run it through the mill to crack open the husk on the outside so we can access the middle, right? Now, we have 4 vessels here. The 2 small ones do the same as the 2 big ones. Now in that one, we're gonna create 3 kegs at a time in the small system, all right? In the big system, we're gonna create 10 kegs at a time. In the little system, we maybe are only gonna use 100 to 150 pounds of grain. So each one of those sacks is 55 pounds. So we might use 3 sacks in one go. In the big system, we're using up to 450 pounds of grain in one go. So about 8 sacks probably, right? So you can see how quickly that's gonna deplete. 450, on average around 300 pounds probably per go.
Wow.
So if I brew 10 times, I'm 3,000 pounds in, and that's not hard to do, right? Now on the small guy, we're gonna try to run the recipe through 2 times before we scale up and go big. Because if you get 3 kegs that don't taste very good, right, I can take one for the team, I'll drink that. But if there's 10 kegs that are not good, we have a problem, right? We lost all that grain and all that time for nothing. So we gotta really think about scaling up. Now, on our brew day, we take our grains, we run it through the mill, and then we're gonna mix them here in the first tank. And while we're doing it, I'm gonna use my control panel real quick, I'll show you. So we're semi-automated here, so no hands in the machine, please. Forward we go. So as we are taking our grains that's already been ground up, we're gonna dump it into the top of the basket here. And we're mixing it with hot water. Now when I say hot water, it's not just any hot water, it's very specific hot water. I need perhaps 168.4 degree water. And I need 162 gallons of it. And I need it at 8:05 in the morning when I first walk in the door, so that we can be done for sunset, right? That's right, Macy, you tell them. I'm gonna stop this while we talk so I don't. So, very specific hot water. Everything we do here, we find out later in the day, and we find out ultimately down in the fermentation, all right? So we've mashed in, we've mixed it, all of our grain with water, and now we're gonna let it rest for 1 hour. During that hour, we're creating sugar. There's an enzyme reaction going on, it's creating sugar. So at this point, we don't have beer, we have sugar water, all right? Now, at every stage of the game, there's gonna be 2 themes that we keep coming back to. Number 1, clear beer. You want the beer to look clear. You don't want floating stuff in there, right? And number 2, we want to try to reduce, reuse, and recycle at every stage. So, we have our sugar water, right? But you can see in the grates there's some little cracks and some spaces. Maybe some of that stuff gets through, right? So what we do is we suck off the bottom and we create like a filtration. Let me give you an analogy. You get up in the morning, you make yourself a pot of coffee. You forget to put the coffee filter in there. You get coffee, but you get coffee grounds in there. If you take that coffee and just pour it back through again and catch it on the bottom, the grounds are going to act like a filter to catch the big stuff, right? That's what we're doing here. Take the liquid off and bring it back on top. Circle it this way, all right? As we're doing it, you can watch the little clear sight glass down there below, and you'll start to see the liquid becoming more and more clear, brightening up. So it's usually about 7 or 8 minutes that we'll run the pump that way. There's a technique called Vorlauf, the German technique. The Germans know everything about beer, so I'm going to take their lead on this one, all right? So we're Vorlaufing, and then we're going to catch the sample from in here because it's returning in this pipe, and we're going to have a look at it and say, are we happy with the color? Does it look clear, right? Have you guys seen these commercials, Samuel Adams? Right, these guys with their big old hipster beards, and they're like, That's all they're doing, man. They're just checking to see if their wort is clear, right? So we do it too. We're like, yeah, okay, it's good, move it. So we take our liquid wort and we move it from the first tank, we move it into the second tank. That's hot, I just touched it, don't touch it. I'm the one who said it too, that's stupid. Slow learners, that's why we have all this kind of stuff. So we use the pump to move the liquid over where we're gonna boil it. Okay, but before we do, we've left something behind in here, right? We've left behind the grain. It's no good to me anymore. I got what I needed. I got my sugar out of it, right? Macy, get your toy. We got the sugar out of it, but it's good to somebody. It's good to the pig farmer. So I call the pig farmer and I say, hey, pig farmer, why don't you come over and pick up this free food? So we dump it into the bin, we put it outside on the loading dock. He's like, I'm on my way, Mark. He'll take it, feed his pigs. About every 6 weeks I say, hey pig farmer, remember all that free food I've been giving you? And he's like, yeah Mark, I know where you're going with this. I said, I need me a pig. Yeah? 80 pounds, no head, no feet, no fur. That's my rule. Yeah? Because, do you know the cajachina? Are you guys familiar? Anybody know a cajachina? I don't know why they call it the cajachina, China box. It was invented in Cuba. Everyone in Miami has one in their backyard or their driveway. So it's a big stainless steel box. Yeah, you put the meat inside, you put the lid on top, you put the coals on there, slow and low, that is the tempo, right? So we're gonna drop it, we're gonna put that pig, we're gonna inject him full of beer, put him in the caja, slow roast him. So like on a Sunday, I'll get here at 5 o'clock in the morning, light the coals. While I wait, I hydrate a little bit maybe, you know? So come noon, we pull that pig out. We got about 80 people, 90 people showing up. We get about 200 people through the door usually on a Sunday, so we're really busy out here. Everybody's always like, what are those crazy gringos cooking out there this week, I wonder. So we pull that pig out, serve it up, some coconut rice and beans, maybe some steamed vegetables, some fried plantains. Everybody's happy, right? Everybody but the pig. That's his problem. He needs to get some thumbs to move up the food chain, you know? So we've reused something here that was no value to us. It was value to someone else, and we got it back in return, right? So reduce, reuse, recycle, right there. Now remember, we moved our liquid over, because I can control the temperature of these tanks, right? Using a glycol chilling loop. We'll talk about, if there's any nerds that want to know about that, we'll have a nerd talk later. So we chill the tank down, right? We get it to the temperature that we want. So in this case, this is Sunny Haze. This is a signature beer that we make only for Sundowners Beach Bar, so that you can only find it there, you can only find it here. That was a deal that I made with them. They were the first people to take a chance on it. So I said, you sell me 50 kegs, I'll make you a signature beer just for you. So this is the Sunny Haze beer. It's a weedy blonde ale. Mason is being in the butter. So when we get knocked out, we throw our yeast in there, right? The yeast only has one job: eat sugar. When it eats sugar, it creates at least 3 byproducts. Number 1, ethanol, alcohol, science, gonna win, right? Number 2, yeah. That was a good answer. Ethanol. You get a sticker. Congratulations. Also, it creates.
On the way back to the ship from the Roatan Brewing Company. Can you hit 9, please? I
Sure.
forgot to hit 9.
Nine.
It's already hit.
It's already in.
Thanks.
Deck 9.
Deck 9.